Excuse me, guys. I apologize about that. I had to start a little late. I had to wait for the stream to catch up. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. And to see how this goes. It's a new thing here. This I might be kind of shifting my eyes around a lot. I got a couple different monitors here, and this is new for me. This Google Hangouts Live is how YouTube is streaming. So that's what we're doing tonight. This is the beginning of Newz Live. I'm going to try and put sunglasses on. I'm not sure if there's too much glare back there, but it's a little bit too much light for me. Anyway, like I said, thank you very much for showing up. Got a couple people here watching myself on the other monitor. There's about a 60-second delay. I'm a bit nervous. I gotta admit, I'm not used to this. Not at all. Not an actor, so that's kind of why I'm smoking. Don't normally smoke in public. Something I do in private or in my home. But yeah, we're gonna roll with it. Newz Live. This is a new show. What you're seeing tonight is not what Newz Live is gonna be. What you're seeing tonight is me just taking an opportunity to introduce me to you, you to me, whoever to whoever. And basically, I'm going to start off by saying this only one time. There will be marijuana use on this show. There will be profanity on this show. Nothing too extreme, but just me being me. If those things are offensive to you, you might want to move on to something else. I got really nervous just before doing this. All the way leading up to doing this, I wasn't nervous at all. And then right before doing it, I got really nervous. And I was like, fuck this, man. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? You know, I'm not an actor. I'm not in the entertainment industry. I don't know anything about computers, really. Everything I know about computers, I just started learning about a month ago. Aside from, you know, searching for things on the internet or emailing people, of course. I've known that for a long time, but, you know, this Twitter thing, that's new to me, you know. I've had Facebook for about a year or two, but I only have one follower. So all the social media stuff is kind of new for me. So I'm super, I don't know, this is just kind of coming to me, and I'm just going with it as it comes. Newz Live. I'm going to talk about that after this here. In the future, I won't smoke on this show necessarily. That's not what I want it to be about. That's not what it is about. It's about all the shit we do in life every day. You, me, real people, everyday people, poor people, rich people, you know, middle class. I think the middle class right now is our time to come up. Seems like small businesses are where it's at. That's what really makes the economy. You know, it's a couple large corporations at the top really aren't in it for the good of the whole. I'm not totally socialist. I'm not totally this or that or the other. I'm not real religious. I believe in God, but I'm not really, religious. I'm trying to just give you a little background on me. Maybe if you get who I am, then you'll get what I'm trying to do, and maybe you'll like it. I hope you do. When the show takes off, I will have a little more money to invest in equipment for internet technology, gear, editing, software, hardware, cameras, multiple cameras, various different angles, real photographer, real director, real IT person. So there's a few components that I'm lacking to give you guys something that was going to be really like what I wanted to do. So rather than give you some bullshit, I'll just explain to you, a little bit. Like I said, I'm super nervous, so I'm really, really stoned, and that's why I see myself talking in slow motion. I don't know if I am. I can't wait to see this. I feel like I'm talking in slow motion, but I don't want people who don't smoke to get the wrong idea. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to do entertainment, music, and movie, and film, and video, and let's see. I didn't do a script. I think in general, that's probably an important thing. But yeah, today I didn't not do a script to rip you guys off or anything. I just didn't necessarily want to stick to a specific. I think that was a tell. Me rubbing my nose. I don't know what that psychologically means, but I was researching people's body language and what's behind their movements and stuff. I find stuff like that, science and whatnot, interesting. Totally forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, script. Yeah, that's going to be a good thing. Script, maybe a little whiteboard in the back to kind of keep me in check, on the right track. So yeah, I'll get it off. I'll get it off right, and I'll get it off professional. And as soon as I do this a couple of times, I'll get over the nerves, and we'll move forward, and I'll figure out which angles work, which lighting works. Of course, I'll get my grill fixed. I'm really worried about things. My health was kind of what brought me back to marijuana. When I was young, of course, I smoked, but I quit for a long time and had some health issues that brought me back to marijuana. And I was really pleasantly surprised in that it didn't just help me with some of the symptoms that I was experiencing at the time, but it helped me with a lot of other things in my life. I'm talking me personally. I'm not talking everyone out there. So, it improved my quality of life on every level. I'm not talking about recreational drug use, although I do now enjoy. I like to feel good. Who doesn't, So I think it's no different than a glass of wine. If you use it that way, that's cool. But I believe I use it 100% medicinally. I use it to treat today maybe a lot of emotional issues, but in the past maybe more medical issues. So yeah, that's it. That's kind of where that comes from. I'm not so you know, when I got back smoking and everything, I realized, fuck, man, everything we heard, everything we were told, everything we were taught, everything we learned about marijuana was a lie. It's all bullshit. I looked into it. Now I've spent the last, I don't know. I want to be honest with you when I tell you shit, so I don't get caught in lies. So I've spent about the last 6 months thoroughly studying. I'm not talking about just smoking weed. I'm talking about researching every aspect of marijuana, the good, the bad, all the shit, medical, recreational, CBD. I grow my own. You know, I do a lot of things just because I have a curious mind and I like to know things and I like to do my own thing, you know. So I don't know. I don't know if this is kind of weird for me to say, but I'm going to say it because I don't really give a fuck. But for me, my whole life, everything I've ever tried has been very easy for me when I apply myself. That's the key. You know, for me, if I apply myself to things, I've been able to do it, no matter what it's been. So the only reason I'm not balling out is because that's not me. That's not my, you know, time and place or whatever. Maybe it was in the past, maybe it will be another day, but it's not today. I'm just a regular guy, but I got a pretty interesting mind. I think about a lot of shit. I process information pretty well. When I was in elementary school, they said I was had 140 IQ. They wanted my mom and my some other people to sign something so they could talk about that or do I don't know, put it in some journal or whatever. I don't know what they really wanted to do. So I was very young, and later on in life, I learned like what IQ is about, and I learned that it had nothing to do with your education. It had more to do with just kind of common sense and just maybe the way you look at things, perception and visually the way you look at things. So for me, I don't know if that's helped me in my life make things easy when I apply myself or not, but that's just a little background on me. Not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me, I'm special. I think everyone's, you know, pretty much the same. When I was a kid, I thought I looked at, you know, businessmen and corporate people and people running the countries and different entities, you know, so on and so forth. I looked at all these individuals and I thought, man, these people must be so brilliant to do that kind of shit. You know, I want to do that. And I just never did it. I never applied myself. I never tried. I think that's where a lot of people fall short. I don't think that I'm necessarily smarter than people. I just think that I'm figuring out things now in my life and I want to talk about it. Maybe some people want to listen, maybe some people don't really care. But I think I got a lot figured out. I've been around, middle-aged guy. You know, when I was young, I was back and forth between Hawaii and California. When I grew up, I started expanding out all over the United States, and you know, then I started seeing the world and learning different languages and learning different things, eating different foods and learning about different cultures and traveling and living in different countries. And You know, I've experienced things that most people don't really ever get to experience in their life. You know, so I do appreciate my experiences, and pretty fun, I guess. When I was real young, I was self-employed, always had businesses. I was in the coffee business for a number of years in Hawaii and in California. And then later, I traveled out of the country and went into the restaurant business and did some things with that. And I've had my ups and downs, you know, and I've had people offer me big things for big money, and I've turned really big projects down because I didn't have to share the vision or whatever. And but like I said, my belief is if you apply yourself, you probably get a lot further. So that's what I'm doing today, right now, this moment. I'm taking my life, taking control of it. You know, I'm not spending a lot of money to do this. As a matter of fact, I didn't spend hardly anything. I had to make some upgrades to my computer because it just lagged too much. So I did all of that. And aside from that, it's just been time and me trying to understand social media, understand how to link accounts together and make everything kind of user-friendly and flow. I'm sorry, I keep itching my nose. I don't know what's going on. I was moving everything around in this room earlier today, and there's all kinds of dust around, so I'm real, I don't know, I'm sensitive to that. I don't like fucking allergies and stuff. But yeah, so yeah. I think on that note, it's time for, how long we've been running? I hope this is airing, man. Wow. That would suck, man. If this thing ain't airing, that is gonna suck. Looks like it is. It looks like there might even be a person or two watching. You know, for me, it's not really about getting a lot of viewers. It's about me kind of confronting things that I'm afraid of. And I'm a real antisocial person. So one of the benefits I get from me, very antisocial. You would not want me to be out there in the world not high, you know, because I have a bad attitude, and I'm not always this blasé. I'm not always this, I'm not drunk, I swear. I don't really drink, you know, occasionally I have some red wine or whatever, or beer or whatever, but I don't really drink anymore. I used to, not so much anymore. Just kind of, when I got sick, I took a lot of meds. And when you take a lot of meds, anything on top of it, or you already feel bad, so anything on top of it makes you feel worse, you know. You just can't do alcohol and things like that. So yeah, I quit that a long time ago, and never really kind of got back into it. But weed doesn't really interfere for me with doesn't interfere with my health, with my meds. I actually was able to go off of seizure meds. I was able to go off a lot of, I take a lot of Tylenol. I used to take pain meds, but you know, those aren't too good for you, narcotic ones. But those aren't good for you. I took myself off that. And then I went on a lot of, what's it called, ibuprofen kind of stuff. That tore up my stomach. That's not good. So then I went back to Tylenol, which I guess is the lesser of all evils. For me personally, everyone's body chemistry is different. But in large doses, it will jack your, your major organs, your liver and whatnot. So you got to be careful with that. For me now, it's just weed, and I left all those pills and when I was, I had cancer, and then I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, um, survived twice, and then I was left with the damage from the treatment, damaged immune system. So every time I got sick with anything, it didn't really matter if it was just, you know, being exposed to somebody at what you call it, Walmart or wherever, that has a cold or a flu or whatever. Excuse me. That kind of stuff would get me real sick, and I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that understand what I'm talking about and experience the same thing now or have experienced the same thing in the past. And weed's not for everyone. I do not, I'm not here to suggest or recommend marijuana to people. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to discuss a lot of different issues that all kind of come back to the topic of marijuana. And there's so much going on right now. There's so much momentum in legalization and with the election coming up, 2016, that's going to be an issue. It's going to be asked about in debates. It will be a topic of discussion, and some candidates that cannot win will go big on marijuana, maybe a platform or something. But I look forward to a day where a big candidate that can actually openly discuss marijuana, because there are so many beneficial aspects. I'm not talking about a narcotic. I'm talking about CBD, and this is the oil, cannabis oil. It's another form, it's another component. It's not THC. THC is a component that makes you stoned. CBD is another component. I don't think it can even make you high a little bit, not even a little bit, I don't think. You ingest it generally, orally, and basically they are having great results with this medically. I'm not talking about some, kind of halfway pseudo medicine. I'm talking about very real results, reducing tumors in several different cancers, epilepsy, children, down to infant level children can safely use this to control epilepsy. The list goes on. Like I said, I don't have a script, so I don't have really anything to read off of. Alzheimer's. There are a lot of medical conditions that can greatly benefit, even eating disorders. There's just so many non-mental, non-psychological medical conditions that CBD can treat, and marijuana can also treat many other. You open the spectrum to psychological illnesses or depression. People really take these words too, I think they misconstrue these words and they take them too serious, because everybody's fucked up. Everybody's weird. Trust me, nobody is normal. That does not exist. The more normal you think somebody is, the weirder they probably really are, or you would find them to be if you knew the shit they were really into. I don't know. Everybody's kind of weird. There is no norm. That's why I don't really subscribe to political parties or religions, although I do believe in politics and I do believe in higher powers, but I don't believe in organizing those things because you get lost, you dilute it. No two people think the same. There are people that think alike on a subject or an issue, but no two people think the same on issues across the board. And everybody's really, really different. And sometimes people are just agreeing on shit just to fit in, you know. They really maybe don't agree, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to repeat that I'm smoking because I'm a bit nervous. I'm just going to light this joint up because, to be honest with you, it's a little inconvenient to use the bong right now. I much prefer it, but it's just inconvenient. I don't like to smoke a joint indoors, really. I prefer to smoke a joint outdoors. But this is a special occasion, so we're going to smoke this room up. It's a big room, we can. Let's see. I'm high, man. Kids, don't do drugs. Give them to me. I will do them for you safely. Wow. I actually got a few viewers, and the stream is okay. I'm sorry. That's why I don't really want to smoke while I'm filming, because, I mean, maybe on a special occasion, if I'm interviewing someone, it might be nice, you know, kind of liven things up. I'm just doing it because I'm really kind of nervous about this whole thing, you know. To expose yourself to people, you know, that's something I'm a little bit nervous about. But it's cool. I'm old school. I don't use filters or anything. I don't use blunts. I just use king size. Used to be zigzags. Now they're raw. Speaking of which, you know, get rid of these effects because, yeah, let's just get rid of that. So yeah, this is me. Let's get rid of this and go unfiltered. This is me. What's up? I'm E-Dog. Just a normal guy asking you to give me a shot, watch my show. This isn't the real deal. It's gonna get real. Next week, I can't tell you who right now. Excuse me. Can't tell you who right now, but I got an artist that I'm gonna be interviewing. And yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be pretty interesting, you know. I really don't like this without the filter, so I'm going to put it back because I have to deal with that. Yeah, gotta have that filter, man. Just Gets the color right. Get the lighting. Get rid of that shadow. Yeah. That shadow in the back. See, that's the thing. I'm new at this, you know. I got to get the lighting, the shadows. 30 minutes. Wow. So I got another 10 minutes here. In the future, there will actually, the full running time will be 1 hour. But there will be, hopefully they're going to monetize it and allow me to have commercials, because I think that's how I get paid in this thing. That's kind of the goal. I'm going to do YouTube to get some cash in this internet craze. And that's one of my goals right here, is to be able to just make a living off the computer. Would be nice. I like to grow. I like to grow weed. I do enjoy it thoroughly. For me, it actually healed me when I was real sick. Me working with the plants actually helped me get better. Not just, this was before I even had the weed, you know. Just working with the plants was kind of cool. But right now I'm trying to make a living, and I don't really, I like to grow for me. I don't really want to grow. I did develop a strain. That was cool. That was fun. That's the kind of stuff I like to do, but I really don't want to grow commercially. I'm not interested in doing that. I used to be in the coffee business. It's a lot of work, and I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not trying to break my back anymore, and, you know, yeah. So I figure if I get a little, I totally lost my train of thought. Let me just zone out. I'm going to zone out for like 10 seconds and collect my thought. It's my own string. I already cut half this. It's an Afghan. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Pardon me. It's can't talk. Oh man. I think we're gonna go back to this. Because if I don't have my glasses on, I can see this little piece of hair over here, and it's pissing me off. It's bugging me. So this way I can't see as well. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, I think this is almost failing. God damn, man. You know, the reason it's lagging is because I'm not going to cut the show short. I'm going to stick to the 40 minutes. In the future, the other 20 minutes hopefully will be advertisers. That's where I was going. God, it took me a while to get back. So yeah, I want to try and get some advertisers. So if this is, don't look at what I'm doing today, really, please. Maybe listen to what I've said. Maybe try and read into it a little bit and see who I am without this very casual look I got going today. Kind of unprofessional, I know, but you know, it's a start. Trust me. For me, this is like, man, I put my good jeans on for this, and you can't even see that. You know, I got my good jeans on. So, um, hope I don't fall. This is probably anyway. Still have dexterity to stand atop a chair. At 45 years old, I've had major surgery all over my body that should keep me from doing such a thing. And stoned as shit. Some people would say that spinning around, standing on a chair like that, you know, dexterity-wise, might be a good little example as far as you know, the fact that marijuana, not all strains of marijuana affect everyone the same way. Yeah, there are probably some strains that make you unable to manage a motor vehicle, but there are strains that make you more aware of what you're doing also. So you just have to know who you are, know your medicine, and know what you're doing, because it's no joke. You know, you'll go to jail, you'll go to prison if you kill somebody, all just the same if you were high on alcohol, marijuana, or any medication, prescription medication that's known to affect, you know, your maybe your state of mind. I don't know what I'm exactly trying to say, but I think you get the point, you know. So, you know, just because people are a little, I think everybody forgets shit, to be honest. I think the fact people joking around saying that stoners forget everything, you know, I have a very good memory. I actually remember a lot of things, and in conversations or in, you know, if I go to a convention or something and I'm trying to take in some information, I think I remember things very well. So I don't seem to have a problem, and I'm always high. Right? I mean, that's just always. I am high all day, all night. I'm always, you know, I'm a functional stoner. I did not like to get out and deal with people prior to being a stoner. Now that I am, I don't mind getting out and dealing with people. You know, they don't aggravate me as much as they would if I wasn't on weed for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I do suffer PTSD. Aside from probably ADHD. I don't know. I've never really been diagnosed with ADHD, but I think my mental activity is a little bit hyperactive at times, and what a lot of functional adults do is they learn to live with illnesses because they are maybe treated poorly because something's wrong with them or whatever. Sometimes it's the way someone looks. Sometimes you'll see people that are discolored on their face. And I don't really look at it like, oh, whoa, look at that person, whoa, they're scary, or what do they have? Is it contagious? I don't really see it that way. I see it more like, I wonder what it's like for them to have that. You know, I used to have like a rash all the time on my face, right across the front, right across here. And it wasn't from, you know, drugs or alcohol, as I've, you know, read up on and found that those also can cause red across there. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it was. I got misdiagnosed with a few different things that were later not what it was. So I don't know, you know, rosacea, this, that. You sort of, I think stress. I think, you know, I was a stressed kid, stressed teenager, stressed young adult, and I was stressed up until the point I just decided not to be stressed anymore. You know? I just gave up on it. I kind of had recently had a change in my mental outlook on everything. An epiphany, I think they call it. And just life changing. Everything since that moment has gone totally smooth for me. Haven't had any problem. I mean, people try and fade me for sure. You know, people are always going to try and confuse you or interrupt your flow, or, you know, try and make you feel like what you're doing might not be the right thing, or, you know, just people worrying about what the fuck you're doing when they ought to just need to worry about themselves and what they're doing. That's a real problem, and that's why we have some of these crazy laws that we've been left with, because we allowed the few just secretly do some bullshit on us. And I'm here to take it back. I'm here to take back, you know, our rights and stand up for people's rights and speak about it and be kind of like a middleman and just talk about anything you guys want to discuss. But I'm going to talk about the shit that I like. So I'm going to talk about, you know, I'm going to interview people who make the kind of music that I like to listen to. I'm going to go to shows that I like, you know, do things that I enjoy. But if you guys have stuff that you want to see, let me know, and I'll do it, you know. And, you know, aside from music and entertainment, I'm going to cover news topics. We're just going to cover, it's going to flow 40 minutes through kind of a variety show. I don't want to name any other shows' names, you know, but maybe some nighttime talk shows, something along those lines. Right now I have some gear on order, lighting, green screen, and some upgrades for cameras, multiple cameras, just a bunch of different shit that I'm going to need to make this happen. So the quality of it is going to change. Plus, I'll be working with professionals. I will have professionals. I'm in the process of moving from one geographical location to a completely different geographical location. I've been doing all of this in the last month, 1 month, from concept to implementation to getting on Twitter, getting 5,000 people to, I don't know, for some reason follow me. Some of them are probably just random and some of them are probably real. And then promote this, Newz Live. And I'll also be covering grow tips. I'll be going to grow facilities, farms around the world. I will travel around the world. I'm just going to do all the shit that I would normally do. I'm just going to let you guys in on it. And so I'll be having, as the show runs, it'll flow a little better because I'll have a director and an editor working shit on the fly. Plus, we will have it all pre-planned. You know, earlier that day, we'll have a meeting, get shit rolling, make sure everything's tight, and we have a game plan. So it's not going to be some lame thing like you're seeing today. This is just me trying to be a little bit creative and tell you a little bit about who I am and what I'm planning on doing. And I have some friends that are in entertainment, and I have friends that are in the movie industry, but they're all busy, man. You know, or they don't want to be connected with me. Shit like that, you know. So I have a genius fucking IT guy hooked me up. But, you know, he's an IT guy. He's not a weed guy. So you know, he can't be all Facebooky and Twittery. So I know a lot of people like that. Very successful people. All over the planet. You know. So yeah, on one side I am just a normal guy, but on the other side I go out there and I do things. So maybe I'm not a normal guy. Maybe if I make things happen, maybe I create my own destiny and I become something other than a normal guy. So that's the journey I'm on. And with my 40, yeah, we're almost time's up. So yeah. Hey, you know, I appreciate the people who did show up to watch this. You know, there's not a whole lot, I'll be honest with you, but there are some. And that's all right. That's cool. That's pretty fucking cool. What else? News, music, science. I dig science, man. I'm a geek. I am a geek. I really dig science, physics especially. I was really like this close to, you know, getting into physics, but on a real heavy kind of level, you know. But I didn't really agree with some of the things that I probably would have been asked to create, you know. So I had a moral dilemma, and I decided that that may not be for me. But yeah, I had a great, well, we'll just call it interest in particle physics, and specifically holography. And you know, you would think I would know more about computers, but I just never really, you know, aside from using Google and YouTube, I never really, you don't really need to know a whole lot nowadays. Things are just really streamlined and user-friendly. I got a Windows phone recently, and I don't like to call out products or, you know, do things like that, especially for big companies. But I gotta say, man, this fucking phone, for the price, just get one. Just get one to have as like an extra spare phone. You can never have too many phones, and you never know. You might want to keep a little emergency backpack with some water and a phone and some tennis shoes. I don't know about all that other shit that preppers put in their things. You can do whatever you want, you know. You do whatever you want. I'm prepared for just whatever. But I don't really fear things are going to come down. You know, I'm just prepared for whatever. But I think it's a great idea that everybody has a couple backpacks with a pair of tennis shoes. You never know what kind of shoes, especially ladies. You never know what kind of shoes you're gonna be in. in an emergency situation. Some water, just really basic first aid supplies, just the basic minimum. You don't need to carry a bunch of shit with you, you know. But you need to have water and tennis shoes. Your feet, hydration, it's everything. You know, and then, you know, to have an extra cell phone in each bag that actually works and connected, that's a good thing to do. So I got a couple of these Windows phones. 60, I don't even know how much they were. I don't know, I got them at Walmart, like $60 each. You know. Okay, it's nothing. And the thing that works really streamlined well. I was just shocked. I was shocked. You know, I just wanted a couple extra phones just to have in different places. You know, one in the glove compartment in this car, and the one in this backpack, and you know, that kind of thing. Just good to have extra communication device. You never know when you need it. All right. 51 minutes. I'll finish up this hour. Ion propulsion systems. You know, new technology with battery, you know, this new Tesla battery pack, power your house with a battery pack this size. There's a lot of technology. A lot of this stuff has been around, available for a long time. It was just the funds weren't there to further develop technologies. You know, it costs a lot of money to get a plant, a facility, and roll things off the, you know, assembly line. And then you got things like Skunk Works. Well, they come out with the compact, portable, clean, cold fusion. And all this stuff is real, you know. This is now, this is today. Everything that you see in movies, in science fiction movies, all that shit, if it doesn't already exist somewhere secretly, someone is really developing it or thinking of developing it. You know. Truly, that's, I mean, technology is much further than people know. I don't think it needs to be such a secret. I don't think technology has to be. I mean, if it's got to be a secret, it must be bad, right? Only shit we want to keep secret is our bad, bad secrets. You don't want to keep things secret that are good. Why would you want to keep good things secret? I don't know. I'm just rambling. But trust, I will work with professionals. I will put out a good show. It will not be this. It will not be stoner guy rambling. It's really warm where I live right now. I'm in the process of moving, as I said, relocating to LA, back to SoCal, you know, where I spent a lot of time growing up. So, yeah. But where I am right now, it's kind of warm, so I got this fan blowing on me. Eating pieces of wheat. I did do some audio tests. If anyone is interested in learning how to use this feature of YouTube and stream a live program, which can also be watched at any time after the stream starts. It can be watched even as a normal video accessed by viewers or yourself in the future. I will be talking more about my experience with it and how I'm doing certain things, if that's helpful to you. But I will put that on another part of my eDog Zen YouTube site. Yeah, I'll just make another tab for it and keep everything kind of separated. Get it organized, and yeah, I'll get it together, don't worry. I know some of you are looking at this thinking, man, look at this. Well, you're not even looking at it anymore because you stopped watching this shit a long time ago. You're saying, look at this fucking stoner. Fuck this guy. He's not funny. He's not all that smart. I have nothing in common with him. I'm so glad those fucking people left. I really am. Fuck them. Fuck you guys. I'm me, and that's what I'm going to do. Go back to the beach. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. Well, anyone who did struggle through this to the end, I do very much appreciate it. It won't be like this because it'll be broken up in segments. There will be commercials and there will be segments, humor, news, sports. I'm not gonna do the weather. I'm not Snoop Dogg. I'm not trying to be Snoop. I'm not anybody else. I'm just me. I thought about it. Trust me, I thought about it. Man, do I want to hire some hot Latina Edicanas, to grace my stage? Well, I'm not going to rule anything out for future episodes, but I'm just going to say that I won't put emphasis on sex or drugs. I'm going to try not to put emphasis on those two things. I don't see marijuana as a drug. I don't use it as a drug. But yeah, I'm not selling sex. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not really selling anything. Got a minute 30 to go. Fulfill my obligation. I appreciate you guys. That there's a couple people that watch the whole thing. I am in shock, man. I am just utter shock that could happen. I mean, who could do that? Who could suffer through? Maybe they were just being nice. I'll tell you the number. There's 6 people, that were there from the whole time, and then it went up to about only 14 or 15. I just recently learned major television networks are happy to get between 5,000 and 50,000 viewers for a particular episode of a show. I didn't know that. I didn't know those numbers were so small. I wouldn't have thought that. Go figure. Anyway, I'm out of here. My time's up. It's kind of like getting out of school, School bells are about to ring. As a matter of fact, let's go. I forgot all about this, but I got some effects, so I know I said I was going to stop it right now in 1 hour, but I'm going to give you a minute of these little effects. Yeah. So that's it. These are just some basic sound effects that you can implement into your. It's actually called Google Hangouts. That's what this is actually called. This thing going down on YouTube right now is called Google Hangouts. And that's the program that runs this. Now I'm talking slow and stony again like I was in the beginning. This is like the extended version. So I showed you a little bit of those effects. I've showed you some of these effects and how you can make yourself into almost transparent. You can adjust that quite a bit. And there's several different little features here. That's it.